An ordinary anaconda, about 15 feet long, about 4.5 meters, can catch a deer and break its ribs in 5 to 10 seconds. Then who should this monster hunt with a length of more than 32 feet, about 10 meters? Are there still dinosaurs in Brazil? This is the largest anaconda in history, which was found in the state of Pará near the Altamira Caves. Remember this name. That's where we will definitely never go on vacation. If she could get up on the tip of her tail, she could look through the window of the 4th floor of a building. The most amazing thing is how it was discovered. In the Brazilian state of Pará, a dam was being built for which they undermined the rocks near the Altamira Cave complex. A piece of stone broke off and opened a passage into the cave where the snake was found. She was alive, as the stones did not touch her. However, who knows? Maybe this monster would have withstood the fall of a rock on her head. Just imagine the shock of the workers. By chance, they found a black hole in the ground, went there, and, like the characters of some blockbuster film, stumbled upon a snake the size of a bus. How would you react to this finding? Fortunately for the workers, the reptile was a little shocked by the explosion and the impudence of the pathetic people, so it did not attack anyone. People were lucky. With its size, only a special forces squad could have defeated the snake. After all, with a length of more than 32 feet, about 10 meters, it was almost 3 feet in diameter, a little less than a meter. That is, it was several times thicker than ordinary snakes. To lift up such the giant, you would need an excavator. And this means that such a snake could knock down a bull or a powerful stallion with one throw. If there were elephants in Brazil, they would be under threat. Such a big snake can easily kill even a young elephant. No, don't worry. No one has conducted experiments and the snake has not been pitted against other large animals. But if an ordinary anaconda is able to catch a deer, then this unique snake could probably defeat any beast of South America one-on-one. Don't you agree? Most likely, this snake has grown to such a gigantic size due to suitable conditions. A large amount of food, and warm saturated with moisture and oxygen, the air of its habitat. She probably fed on large animals that inadvertently entered her cave possessions. Usually, anacondas can survive without food for several months due to a very slow metabolism. However, this snake apparently never starved. But these are all assumptions. Some snakes are so much larger than their fellows in size that they look like the representatives of different species. It's like an ordinary German Shepherd would have a puppy that would grow up to be the size of a bear. But scientists still don't know why there are such giants among snakes. Although it is believed that the average length of an anaconda ranges around 15 feet, 4.5 meters, the lens of the researchers' cameras are increasingly getting specimens that are out of this statistic. Of course, everything can be attributed to the fact that researchers are increasingly climbing into the most impassable corners of the Amazon basin and can meet and film snakes there, which used to be only a legend of local tribes. But it is quite possible that the reptiles began really to grow much larger. After all, there are fewer jaguars and crocodiles, and the place of the super predator at the top of the food pyramid is empty in some places. Due to the lack of competition, the anaconda may well try to take the place of the king of the South American jungle. In this case, we have witnessed their evolutionary leap. What do you think? Answer in the comments. That's what travelers on the Amazon manage to capture on camera every now and then. How long do you think this snake is? It will not be possible to accurately measure, because for this you need to catch and pull the monster to its full height. And even John Wick wouldn't like that idea. Dealing with a few goons with a pencil is one thing, but diving into the water to this monster is quite another one. But since the anaconda swam close enough to the boat, it can be understood that its total length is approaching 25 to 30 feet, 7 to 9 meters. It's good that reptiles are too lazy to attack the boat. Perhaps if she was angered, she would be able to turn the ship over or even break it. In addition, sometimes there are more incredible shots, for example, where a snake swims across a fairly wide river not along, but across. It is difficult to estimate its real size, but they clearly exceed the average data, wouldn't you agree? It is especially scary to meet such a snake on land. Just imagine, you're walking along the shore and notice how something is wriggling nearby. And then you look and you see how this something stretches the length of a huge tree, moves, and is clearly dissatisfied with your presence. There are several places in the world where the biggest snakes of our time live. These are regions with humid and very hot climates: the Amazon basin, Central Africa, and the equatorial strip of Asia: India, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia. Asia was especially lucky. The biggest pythons live there, and not even one, but two different species. Officially, the length of this reticulated python ranges from 23 to 24 feet, 7 to 7.5 meters. This is enough to hunt large antelopes and fight off leopards. However, there is evidence that these giants can grow up to 40 feet, 12 meters. Interestingly enough, they are much smaller in captivity than in the wild. Even despite the safety and abundant nutrition in zoos and terrariums, reticulated pythons rarely grow more than 15 feet, about 4 to 5 meters. Perhaps they are wasting away without the spirit of freedom, or it's all the fault of a large but limited habitat. But there is also a tiger python in Asia. It may well grow up to 16 feet, 5 meters, and this is practically the norm for this species. There are also larger specimens. Yes, this python is not as big as the mesh one, but it is very massive and powerful. There are local legends that pythons are found in Asia at least 1.5 times longer. The evidence is difficult. If such a huge reptile gets into the camera lens, then it is possible to estimate its length only approximately. The argument of the supporters of the existence of such giants is very simple. If you meet such a snake in the jungle, then you will definitely not be up to filming. You will try to get away as soon as possible, and if you still try to get to the camera, well, who knows? Maybe pythons hate the paparazzi. Or rather, they love them, just in the gastronomical sense. Call Geralt, this is a job for The Witcher. But in 2017, one such giant still managed to be filmed. It happened on a farm in Indonesia, where one of the largest snakes in history was crawling. This reptile grew up to a length of more than 23 feet, 7 meters, and attacked the farmer who found it. Fortunately, the man who fought back and even managed to photograph the defeated enemy with the help of fellow villagers. To stretch the snake from head to tail like this, it took the efforts of several adult men, and this despite the fact that the reptile did not resist. I wonder how the farmer managed to defeat such a predator. If you were wondering why the data on big snakes are so contradictory, then just look over here. So, the man decided to shoot a huge boa constrictor that stretched along the wall of his house in Florida. A person is far enough away, as he thinks, and removes from the tail to the head. How do you like the ending? So, we went to dry our pants. Africa is home to an incredibly large hieroglyphic python, which can compete with any other snake for the title of the largest reptile in the modern world. What do you think is the length of this python? 12 feet or even more? Of course, no matter how brave the researcher is, trying to accurately measure a live and possibly hungry snake with a ruler in such circumstances is nonsense. Therefore, we can only guess. However, whatever the exact dimensions are, we know that such an African python is so huge that it is able to catch not only medium-sized antelope, but also a cow weighing 1/3 of a ton. Python will digest such prey for several weeks. At the same time, such a snake is fast enough and has such a flexible spine that it can catch much more agile prey. For example, to lean over and grab a monkey. Therefore, small and super fast animals cannot feel safe. Just for the python to get enough, you need not one monkey, but half of a pack of such primates. In the 1950s, they caught such a huge hieroglyphic python that it overcame and ate an adult crocodile. Usually, because of the very strong scales that play the role of a natural armor, crocodiles have an advantage over snakes, even despite the great length of legless reptiles. With the help of more powerful jaws, the crocodile is able to grab and defeat a snake 1.5 times larger than itself. To do this, he will shake his head and hold the enemy in his teeth in order to inflict additional internal damage to the enemy by hitting the ground. But that python was so much bigger that even these advantages could not help his component. At the same time, the hieroglyphic python, even with its monstrous size, manages to be a dexterous lover of hunting on a tree. There, he runs the nests of birds, and if he is lucky, there are enough adult birds. It's amazing how the branches don't break under the weight of this monster. Now the hieroglyphic python is relatively safe. But its habitat is shrinking. More and more adult snakes are seen in African cities and villages where they crawl in search of food. And especially often, they crawl into the territory of farmlands, where they then hunt for livestock. Therefore, unfortunately, this species may soon become rare and endangered. If you think that only the largest unique pythons, which grow 1.5 times larger than their fellows, pose a threat, then you are mistaken. Even an ordinary adult snake of this species can cause a lot of problems to a person. This individual was even less than 16 feet 5 meters, but fighting with these trained steel muscles is still a very, very bad idea. Even if a person managed to block the mouth and avoid being bitten, but don't worry, everything ended well for the man, and even for the reptile. This man was lucky to have his friends nearby. The snake did not wrap around the neck, but only around the man's arm. But it was enough for the guy to almost go to the bottom. He was saved by the help of others and the desire to fight for his life. The snake could not cause serious injuries, and since the man was squeezing the reptile's jaws, it did not even bite him. However, this situation was still extremely dangerous. So if you're going to be dealing with snakes, just stay away from them. By the way, if you would like to tell us about the rules of survival in case of contact with exotic animals, please let us know in the comments section. When parents sense a threat to their children, their reaction is entirely unpredictable. In this video, the female raccoon demonstrated wonders of courage. At some point, the raccoon mother with her offspring noticed a lynx lurking in the bushes. Initially, the animals watched and sniffed each other, and then the lynx made a sudden lunge towards the mother with her cubs. But she didn't lose her composure, stood up in defense of her offspring, and chased away the lynx. An eyewitness noted that part of the confrontation was actually left off camera. In the end, the enraged mother drove the lynx into a swamp, from which it barely managed to escape. The raccoon female won the battle for her cubs. Elephants. In case of danger, all wild animals step up to protect their offspring, including African elephants. Moreover, the largest terrestrial animals sometimes act proactively. For instance, a herd of elephants encountered a pack of hyena-like dogs. The elephants immediately assumed a defensive position and emitted intimidating sounds, causing the opponents to flee. Elephant mothers and their relatives will fight anyone attempting to harm a calf in their herd. Mothers always protect their children, and animals are no exception. Once in Zambia, a female elephant trampled a crocodile to death in front of tourists, thinking that it could potentially threaten her offspring. The female elephant, acting in defense of her progeny, is highly aggressive, attacking the enemy not only with tusks and a trunk, but also with her massive legs. An adult female elephant can weigh from 2,700 to 3,600 kilograms. So the crocodile really had no chance of survival. By the way, those who haven't learned not to mess with moms often suffer themselves. This large grizzly bear spotted prey, a puma kitten. The bear initially thought it had found a tasty meal. Grizzlies are also very dangerous, but not in this case. The puma is quite a serious cat and won't allow anyone to harm her cub. Claws and sharp teeth come into play here. The intense struggle ended with the grizzly, significantly larger than the wildcat, having to retreat. Maternal instinct is a powerful thing. Protecting one's child is one of the primary instincts in females. When cheetah mothers sense danger to their cubs, they transport them. They do this one by one to a safe place, holding them firmly but gently by the scruff. The cubs don't resist and patiently endure such relocation. Lions and hyenas often attack cheetah cubs not for food, but to eliminate a food competitor. In such cases, the cheetah mother initiates the attack first. Hunters redirect their attention from the cubs to the mother, and a counterattack ensues. Considering the cheetah's speed, predators have no chance of catching the brave mother. But it takes enough time for the cubs to escape or hide. The cheetah mother may continue these attacks until her cubs are safe. This tactic is nearly ineffective if there are more than two attacking predators. A pack of wolves, for example, hyenas, or lions will achieve their goal. This courageous cat undeniably deserves the title of Mother Hero. To save her cubs, she fearlessly confronted a huge python, hissing and actively fending it off. Risking her life, she attempts to rescue her kittens. It may seem like the video is purposely edited, yet both the cat and the reptile here are pretty real. And the mother's reaction to the snake attack is genuine. Animals can go to great lengths when their offspring are in danger. Many animals exhibit a radical change in behavior after giving birth. This means they become much bolder. A wildebeest and its calf, engrossed in grazing, stray away from the herd. They are unaware that a cheetah is nearby, waiting for an opportune moment. The predator springs from hiding and attacks the calf. But the mother reacts instantly, delivering a horned headbutt, freeing the cheetah's grip on the cub. Both escape closer to the herd, leaving the cheetah without its day's meal. The cheetah likely needs time to recover from such a powerful blow. Mothers are ready to stand firm for their children, and in this video, this ordinary hen confirms that. Just watch how the brave mother fearlessly protects her chicks from a king cobra. The hen has been walking around with her chicks, and then the cobra appears. Royal cobras apparently enjoy feasting on small chicks. The mother hen notices it, emitting loud warning clucks and strutting around her chicks. The hen is not as simple as it seems. She spreads her wings, fluffs her feathers to appear larger, chucks loudly, and boldly attacks the cobra. She doesn't allow the snake to approach the chicks and stands in its way like a shield. The situation seems hopeless. The snake refuses to retreat, but in the end, it just gives up. Perhaps it decided that the effort wasn't worth the trouble. Thanks to the strong maternal instinct of this brooding hen, all the chicks remain alive. Here's some more incredible footage of brave parents from the bird family. This time, we're featuring geese. Whoever lives or used to go to the countryside knows what geese are, how they hiss and they peck legs. Geese aggressively attack anyone approaching their nest or their chicks. A fox discovered a pair of geese with a brood of goslings in the swamp. Just watch how one of the parents, spreading its wings wide, attempts to protect its offspring from the cunning predator. The fox darts around. It desires to feast on the little goslings, but the goose here hisses, flaps its wings, and prevents the fox from getting any closer. After a while, the fox gives up on approaching these cute, fluffy goslings. This creature is quite large. Buffalo may reach up to 180 centimeters in height, with a body mass of around a ton. In a fight, a buffalo can put up a worthy resistance against a lion. Lions hunt weak individuals, such as calves and females. Mothers will fight for their offspring, launching ferocious attacks to protect their progeny. They are ready to fight to the death, defending their young ones. Therefore, fluffy predators have a tough time. Buffalo horns can cause serious injuries, tossing the big cat several meters back. Hooves are also not idle, generously delivering blows left and right. And don't forget that buffaloes are herd animals. Cute dogs cease to be so when it comes to the safety of their offspring. In an instant, a domestic sweetheart turns into an aggressive animal. If you try to harm her puppies, the parental reaction will be immediate. And this is simply admirable. And admit it, the way a mother dog selflessly attacks the offender is truly inspiring. Whether small or large, these animal mothers do everything possible to say no to predators and ensure the safety of their children. Now this is truly worthy of your likes. Have you ever witnessed animal mothers defending their children? Let us know in the comment section.